Kadena is a Layer 1 POW consensus that aims to achieve what many think is impossible: attain scalability. The project has some valid results that speak for its potential, having risen more than 125% from the previous year. This video will look at what Kadena is all about and how it performs today. I'll also be talking about some expert opinions on its price prediction. Background of Kadena. In 2016, two former employees at JP Morgan saw the bright side of the emerging crypto industry and the technology that created it. They created Kadena, believing their blockchain can transform how the world transacts and interacts with digital economies. Kadena claims to have solved the security problem of the regular blockchain and is much more efficient, faster, and flexible than Bitcoin. While it may be performing quite well, the project shares some similarities with many new startups looking to fast-track the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology to replace traditional financial systems by becoming scalable. But will Kadena overcome its competition by providing the ultimate scalable platform? Let's look at the basics of Kadena. What is Kadena? KDA. Ether relies on the Ethereum chain and Kadena on its public blockchain. This blockchain is called Chainweb. The blockchain shares the parent consensus with Bitcoin in that it was built on the proof-of-work mining consensus. Bitcoin has been considered unscalable for several reasons, but Kadena hopes to outdo the granddaddy of all cryptos by its modified sharding system. Thinking of why the founders chose to use the proof-of-work consensus to create Kadena, they believe that the POW system offers greater security than the proof-of-stake mechanism for all its promises of transparency. The aim was to keep Kadena at the same level of security as Bitcoin while trying to resolve other peculiar problems common to POW consensus. These problems are so often highlighted in the form of the scalability trilemma. The high security offered by the POW came at the cost of low transaction speed, high transaction fees, and often decentralization. Blockchains that use the POS sacrifice security for the ability to run swift and seamless transactions. Kadena is the product of an attempt to achieve the positives of high security while proving to be scalable. Kadena promises to use its multi-chain architecture to fix the issues and birth a blockchain that can withstand the demand to process mainstream transactions effectively. They want to build a project that can make daily transactions possible via blockchain technology. According to its website, the project can settle up to 9 million trades on the New York Stock Exchange daily. It also exists to make the work of blockchain developers much more accessible. The challenge of app development on the blockchain is solved by maintaining its structure as a single Layer 1 platform without a second layer. How Kadena's Chainweb works. Chainweb increases the transaction potential of the POW consensus without altering the hash rate and the amount of energy required to process each transaction. A hash rate is the average measure of the number of calculations the POW consensus can perform every second. We're looking at hash rate measurements that could be valued in billions, trillions, and quadrillions. The Kadena chain can perform more than 1 trillion calculations within a second is what a predefined hash rate means. The hash rate judges how smoothly mining operations are performed in a proof-of-work network. Additionally, Chainweb has a significantly lower latency when compared to the basic POW consensus, like Bitcoins and some POS systems. The latency of a blockchain can be defined as the time lapse between transaction submission and confirmation on the network. This factor is solely responsible for the notable delays in the transaction speed of most blockchains. Kadena's lower latency means that its transactions process much faster and more securely. The main problem of POS networks is the burden created by liquidity supply and the tendency for centralization. POS networks use staking channels and a bit to scale. Chainweb stays true to mining operations while maintaining a generally decentralized ecosystem. Smart contracts. Kadena is enabled for smart contract development via a system known as Pact. Some of the solutions that the Pact language confers are the ability to upgrade a contract and error messages, and it also enables interoperability with other blockchains. It aids an overly simplistic way of handling authorization, data, and workflow management. Within the Kadena ecosystem, we have a private blockchain called Kadena Kuro. It uses a solid Byzantine fault tolerance that makes the subchain useful for professional and business usage. Corporations in niches such as health can use Kadena Kuro to collate and maintain data collected from insurance providers and safeguard patient data. Some popular crypto exchanges and blockchains are users of Kadena's private blockchain. Examples include CoinMetro, Cosmos Chain, and Polkadot. It's more of a partnership between their companies to expand the reach of their technology further and scale the network. Kadena is also valid for handling transactions involving DeFi, NFTs, and specific mainstream payment applications. Business will enjoy its acclaimed transaction speed of about 480,000 transactions per second for DeFi projects built on its Kiro Layer 2 technology, the latest installment in its network functionality. Kadena charges its users meager transaction fees, but those businesses that engage with its new users save their customers the expense of transaction fees or other subscriptions. Any payment made on the network is made using the KDA. The Kadena is the native currency used to pay to compute on the blockchain, and miners are rewarded for mining blocks with KDA. Kadena. Let's look at Kadena's price history before considering the price predictions issued by the experts. Kadena Price History. Kadena started operating as a blockchain company in 2016, but it launched its KDA token late in 2018. By November 2019, the company had raised about $38 million from token sales to support the blockchain's full launch. The coin was sold at 50 cents to accredited investors at launch. In 2020, the coin had dropped to a low of 39 cents in June and rose to 70 cents, a significant high in August 2020. What followed was a drop in its value across 5 months to the end of the year. Early in 2021, the coin was trading at an all-time low of about 14 cents, and it was only able to grow 19% by April to $1.76 per KDA. It crashed exceedingly when the current bearish market started to take shape. The coin fell about 81% from its all-time high before it rose to an all-time high at $2.20 per KDA, and then back to $1.45 in September 2021. A bit of magic happened in November 2021 when Kadena experienced a massive spike in adoption and hit a significant high. It ended the year 2021 at $15.36 after it dropped first to $9.64 before a reversal to the upside. Many investors who had bought the coin as early investors had a great time watching KDA rise and fall, but no longer returned to the cent level while they stayed in significant profits. It mattered little if the general market was enduring a bearish cycle. Kadena's price dropped to $5.02 early in 2022 and then spiked to nearly $10 in February before a march down to $5.90 per KDA. For months, the coin traded between $5 and $8, a range at which seemed most comfortable despite the overwhelming negative sentiments around the crypto market. It suffered the worst when the token plunged to trade at $1.38 when there was a further crash in the market as Bitcoin's price action got sloppier, leading to a broad market crash. Kadena is many things but not immune to the unfair winds of crypto volatility. It still trades at the price range of $1.30, having lost as much as 94% of its value from its all-time high. Now, let's get into it. Kadena Price Prediction. Some expert predictions I could find on Kadena were determined using different algorithms. Government Capital predicted the KDA price for December 2022 will surpass $10. The website also offers a highly bullish price forecast, predicting that the currency will cost $12.15 in a year and $95.57 in 5 years. KDA's value may be at $2.28 in the final months of the year 2022, according to Digital Coin Price. According to the website, the coin should be worth an average of $2.42 in 2023, following a general upward trend year over year. The website projects that the price of Kadena will be $3.23 in 2025 and $7.80 in 2030. Price Prediction projects greater long-term profits for Kadena, projecting a price of $45.30 in 2030. A significant return to $24 is on the cards for KDA once the crypto market stabilizes and the focus of investors shifts once more in favor of Kadena. You can be there to grow some profits if you buy at the current valuation as a long-term investor. Can Kadena be a profitable investment in 2023? Drop a comment below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to be notified every time we post a new video, and we'll catch you in the next one.